There is a new hospice opening in Toronto today. Its aim is to help a part of the population most in need.
Being homeless has nothing to do with who you are, okay? That's just where I live. When you're sick, you don't have a home base, you don't have a family to go to, you don't have a wife, you don't have a home.
So Jeff, who you just met there, is facing terminal cancer diagnosis, and he's one of the people that Journey Home Hospice is going to help. Joining us in studio this morning is palliative care physician Dr. Naheed Dosani. Welcome to Your Morning.
Thanks for having me.
What kind of services will Journey Home Hospice provide? How will they help people like Jeff?
Being sick and dying is hard, but being sick and dying on the streets can be even harder. On any given night, there's over 5,000 people who are homeless in the streets of Toronto. For every one of those, there are 23 others who are precariously housed. What we hear from Canadians is that they want to face end of life at home. But what do you do when you don't have a home? Journey Home Hospice aims to really take care of that, to support people with their pain and symptoms so they're comfortable, to support people so that their street family and friends are nearby, and also to ensure that people have care and a warm place to support their end of life.
Doctor, thank you so much for speaking over the horn. I know that most people know that we are at street level in our studio here, so if you hear that at home, we do apologize. But a really important point to make about people on the streets need somebody to advocate for them, especially in those last stages of life when the illness takes over.
Absolutely. It's a population that suffers from a severely high burden of disease. They're 28 times more likely to have hepatitis C, 5 times more likely to have heart disease, and 4 times more likely to have cancer. Their life expectancies range from 34 to 47 years old, while the average Canadian's life expectancy is 77 to 82 years. And so Journey Home Hospice will aim to meet the palliative care needs of this population.
What I like about this piece that we're going to show another clip from in a moment is that there are challenges to living on the street that we don't often consider. Yes, you don't have a home. Yes, there are weather conditions. Most people think of that. But Jeff is going to let us in on some challenges that he's facing while he's trying to get medical care while he's not housed. Have a listen.
They say you got to be back at 5:30. I'm sitting at the hospital at 5:30. I could lose my bed because I'm not there.
And that's a common situation, right? He's trying to, go by regular society rules for medical care, but he's going to lose his spot at the homeless shelter for the night.
We've designed a healthcare system that supports most people, particularly if you have a house, some caregivers or family, and a phone. But if you don't have that, how do you coordinate your appointments? How do you seek care? How do you deal with the side effects, for example, of chemotherapy? And these are the difficulties that folks like Jeff face on the streets.
So, Dr. Dosani, then who advocates for them in a situation like doctor-assisted suicide, for example? In a regular situation, you'll have family members involved in that decision. If you're homeless, often you're not in contact with your family.
I think it behooves healthcare providers and people who work with social service agencies to support those conversations. At the end of the day, it's a system that's supposed to designed to help people with what they need and want. But sometimes people don't have that opportunity to have that voice. So it really does fall on advocates, people who are out there doing outreach to provide that kind of support.
Why was now the right time to do this?
Well, because being sick being sick and dying is hard, but being sick and dying on the streets can be even harder. When you don't have a home, you need a caring, warm place. Journey Home Hospice will really aim to bring peer support workers, healthcare workers who are comfortable dealing with trauma in a harm reduction approach through a social justice lens. And there's no time better than now. It really begs the question of what a human life is worth. And if we live in a society where all of our lives are actually worth the same, then I think investing in something like Journey Home Hospice makes a lot of sense.
It's a really great idea, and thank you so much for coming to the studio this morning to tell us about it.
Thank you very much for having me.
If you're interested in more information on Journey Home Hospice, there is a link on our website. You'll find that at yourmorning.ca.